So we've now watched a cluster of videos related to some of the key components of marketing. What are the key issues and takeaways I want you to take from this first little set? Simple. I want you to understand that marketing is more than a bunch of tools. It is about the way different people relate to one another in the full supply chain, not just between you and the end consumer, which is what we often think of as marketing, which the most glamorous components of marketing are. But actually, marketing was a major part of when I was an engineer and my business. It wasn't about butchering up the suppliers, it's about making sure that everybody knew what was going on and to make sure the supply chain interacted successfully, had good relationships that enabled it to compete with other elements of the supply chain and other supply chains. So it's a key element of building relationships. It's about organizational capabilities, the business paradigm, but in other ways it's also a technical discipline which is aimed to explain how exchanges work and an understanding of how exchanges work, because of course exchange are key to many different aspects of organizations, not just exchange for profit, but others, relationships within the supply chain, within the organization. Must understand how we started off as product orientation when people had money and there was a limited amount of goods to buy. And if you could make a decent product, you could sell it. But now with much more choice out there, we have to look at the fact that people have much more options, and not just the obvious option, but get rid of the myopia that result in people only seeing their immediate competitors and realize that actually the market is much bigger than your immediate competitors. To understand how transactional marketing is the traditional way of selling, it's actually moved more towards relationship marketing. This predates the arrival of social media, though it's clearly supported and enabled by social media. So understand that marketing is not just about for-profit organizations. Lots of places we market in politics, we market in NGOs, we market our own individual personage. It's important to realize that external marketing looks at the micro variants of a company. It looks all out the areas. It doesn't just look at those things that are involved in costing, etc. So it's very important to recognize that. It's also important to recognize that the pieced analysis reviews the broad forces influencing the company. We cannot afford to be isolated. As a company must be outlooking, as an organization must be outlooking. We have to understand what is going on and what is important around us.